G'day everybody and welcome back to the Hardball Gets AFL show. This podcast is brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do ute. Today on the show, it's the 6 points leading into the second week of finals. If you haven't subscribed to the show, please do that wherever you listen. Leave a rating, leave a review, and tell your mates. All right, let's get stuck in. This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name is Nick Wren, joined by Xavier Ellis and Chris Robinson. What's going on, gents?
Hey guys, how we doing?
A bit of a cold today for me. I don't usually get sick, so
Mate, everyone's carrying something at this time of year.
Yeah.
You just got to push through.
I said
Finals
this morning,
week too.
if I was a decent player and I was at a footy club, I'd be on the injury report as like did not train.
Questionable.
Like every year there's
Status
did not
questionable.
train. Yeah, I'd be home sucking on soup, but
It's like the ruckmen just don't train a lot of the time. Like the big guys
because
just
they don't want the drills to be fucked up. They go train on the side. Do your little hit outs
some
elsewhere.
weights if you like.
Go practice jumping. Except
Practice jumping.
You love ruckman.
I do love ruckman. You only need one. That's all you need.
What? On your list?
One ruckman. No, like it's like Max and Grundy, Darcy and Jackson.
Oh, yeah. You
You
don't
just
like
need
that
one,
sort of-
and then just let them do their thing and do it on the side.
Yeah, okay.
No need to be kicking.
Well, you need two, don't you? Because you need someone to do it with them.
Just hire a monkey, Damien Monkhurst, or a big fella like that.
Literally a big
Monkey's
monkey.
been following Clarko around for years.
Oh, I see in North Melbourne now.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm certain he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go. Well, let's lead off. Let's just do like quick tips off the top. Who you got going into the weekend?
Every year I get sucked in, Rob, I was just saying before, to the victors the week before, obviously playing against losers. So the recent form gets me. I give I give the Giants a big show against Port. I think Port are too depleted injury-wise.
Yep.
I think the Giants, and I love that it actually feels like a bit of a tsunami. Like
The Orange Tsunami.
it's all,
It's back. It's back,
as
baby.
Tom Green says, we all know it. You want the smoke, here it comes.
So good.
So, yeah, I'm going the Giants in an upset there. And I think, again, I'm trying to convince myself Carlton with recent win. But, you know, in Melbourne, if you have 70 inside 50s, you're probably only going to lose 1 in 20 of those if it happens. So I think Melbourne's form's okay.
Okay. I'm
Who
going to
you
go.
going?
I'm going Melbourne, GWS.
You're taking the Giants as well.
I just like to see it, you know.
Yeah, but do you think they'll win though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine if the Giants,
What's your
So
vibe?
I actually don't really get a vibe off this one. Could go either way. But this is the unnamed thing with tips.
So
We don't
say you're
know.
sitting out the back of your
This is
house
just a-
smoking a joint. What's the vibe?
Giants.
Big sound,
Big,
baby.
big sound playing on repeat.
Robbo?
I'm taking the favourites, and can I lead into my first point
Yeah,
here
fire.
because this kind of segues in. So I'm taking both favourites. I'm taking Melbourne and Port. But my question for our first point here is: which club faces more heat if they bow out in straight sets?
Melbourne.
Is it Melbourne with a second consecutive straight sets exit, which has never been done, and wouldn't have won a
What,
final?
never been done?
Never been done since the current system was
Let's
done in
answer your own
2000.
question.
Back-to-back
Straight
seasons
in
of straight
2000.
sets. And wouldn't have won a single final since their premiership win? Or is it Port having re-signed Hinkley,
No.
very nearly finished second?
No.
It's Melbourne?
Melbourne by a million miles.
Yeah.
Melbourne have had time to not fix the list. They've had a gaping hole in that forward line. They've tipped all their long-term contracts in the midfield, which makes it unbelievable. But if you're having 70 inside 50s and losing, they were short favourites to win the flag at round 10 last year when they were nearly...
Undefeated.
Well, yeah.
And knocked
And it's
off
just-
by the mighty Dockers.
Yeah, and then it's just gone horribly for them. So I think it's pouring onto the Ds.
Okay, I don't know. I probably should have researched this. But is Ben Brown dead? Where's Ben Brown?
Yeah, he buried last week.
Yeah, right.
Navale,
Yeah.
Ben Brown.
I feel like you might have got a notification about that on
Yeah.
one
Ben
of the
Brown's
news
dead. What,
sites that you follow if that had
What's
happened.
Ben Brown? Is he alive? Is he uninjured? Is he?
I just don't think
Why
he's
is
very
he
good
not-
anymore.
Yeah, but none of their forwards are very good.
No.
Like, surely just try it. He won a premiership.
He did. No, there's
There's
just
like
nothing.
Robbo's eyes then were looking up like, I heard he's actually dead.
Is he dead?
Yeah, I don't know. Is there no news on Ben Brown?
Let me see how many games he's played this year for you.
He would have played, I don't think, 10, maybe 10.
Okay, well,
So when he came back and then he was out. I just don't know why are they...
no, he's
Surely
played,
Ben Brown.
He's played 7.
They only played 7 games.
How's this, though? The start of the year,
Could he shaved his head off?
round 1, Ben Brown kicked 4. Round 2, Ben Brown kicked 4. He's got 8 in 2
Good
weeks,
start.
and then he's kicked 3 goals since.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where Ben Brown is.
So unpickable is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like unpickable for someone who's got forwards, maybe. But surely you just try stuff.
So they just go smaller now, right? They just bring in like a Spargo or someone for Van
Well, they
Rooyen.
want to
Is that
change
what
their
we're
method
thinking?
of getting the ball into the forward line then, because they just bombed it up every single time last week.
Yeah.
Is it almost a Petrarca, full forward, old school?
You're going to have a conniption, mate. Did that just come out of your mouth?
I know, but is that where they're at?
But then they're also a mid-short with no Brayshaw there. So
Yeah,
if
of
you
course.
take Truck out of there, then you're leaning a lot on Tom
Brayshaw's a big
Sparrow.
ad, isn't
Luke
it?
Dunstan. Luke Dunstan. still
Luke
around?
Dunstan.
Remember they brought him in, they're like, oh, we need depth in the middle.
Luke Dunstan did
And
it.
then,
Dunstan checks
they're
in.
like, not that much depth. We're not
Yeah.
playing you.
I call it a Bruce. Luke Dunstan.
That was a...
the one club he shouldn't have picked.
Yeah.
went
was
there.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
That's like, you know that... Those what was it called? Show Me the Money, the Stan documentaries. And
Yeah.
like that was a lean year. There was like Luke Dunstan was 60% of the content that series.
Yeah,
Is he going to get to Melbourne?
Yeah.
He should have gone to any other club. He had
Melbourne.
value. Maybe he'd come back from injury or whatever and was finding the footy. And
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway, last point on straight sets exits. First 14 seasons since 2000, there were only 2 straight sets exits in the first 14 seasons.
Yeah.
One of those is West Coast in extra time in 2007 when they lost
Oh,
Judd
yeah, I
and
remember
Cousins.
that.
right. Oh yeah, at Port Adelaide.
So 2 in the first 14 seasons, and then in the past 9 seasons, there's been 8.
Right.
Wait, wasn't it Collingwood?
And half a chance to get another one this weekend.
I just remember
West Coast Collingwood.
I remember
West Coast
Collingwood,
Yeah, but I
07,
remember.
yeah.
Sorry, Cuzzy, you leaning against the race at Port Adelaide.
Oh, and Port, yeah, they
07.
lost in the first
Yeah.
week in Port,
Yeah.
and then Cousins
Juddy's
Judd both
groins
went
couldn't
out.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just running like a busted
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like those, Rob. I love when you bring
Good
numbers like
stats.
that.
This is what we like.
I try and bring something. I
Is
have no
anyone
actual opinion, so
Unreported. That's probably unreported. Now the heat's going to come on Melbourne.
Yeah.
They're going to cave. Did I hear Gawn's out? No?
No, that's a fake
Nah,
Tom
fake tweet.
Brown.
Fake
Oh,
news.
fake Tom
Stick
Brown.
out. He's
Fake
turned
news.
the comments off too, which makes it look like it's Tom Brown. Exceptional work.
Great work.
Yeah.
Great work.
All right, really, really quickly. Now the dust settled on the season, just want to go through the teams that have been eliminated and whether you think if they were to quickly judge their season below expectation, at expectation,
like
or
it.
above.
Like it.
Because I think at the end of the day, you look at it and go, well, I mean, Gold Coast, Hawthorn finished 16th, is probably at expectation, for
Yeah.
example. 16th is not great.
Might
but
even be above. People are
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, there you go.
wouldn't win a game.
So if you're sitting around the board...
I would say Hawthorn were above expectations.
we'll start from the
Totally.
bottom. We'll start from the
Well,
bottom.
those first few weeks of the season, West Coast, North, and Hawthorn were all being lumped together as like
Yeah.
the big 3,
The
or
hacks.
the reverse
Yeah.
big 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, West Coast Eagles, were you sitting around the board below,
below.
but I did think that their line opened at 9 wins.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
stupid.
but we didn't think they'd be a 53%
No.
kind of
Not at
horror
all.
show.
North Melbourne Football Club.
Below.
I thought at. I think now when I look at it,
No, they were playing finals.
How many wins did they get? 3?
3. They're probably below.
Below.
Yeah,
Because everyone
probably
thought
below.
you thought you'd get a bit of Clarko bouncing after
Correct.
the first 2 rounds.
To get
and then-
four or five or
no,
six
you're
or
right.
something,
You
yeah.
couldn't forecast Clark having a spell.
No.
True.
They had a wretched run with injuries, just like at West Coast, though.
Yeah,
I don't even give
Davies
them enough
in, yeah.
credit. And Simpkin didn't play a lot. There was a lot of
Simpkin,
injuries.
I'm worried about Simpkin.
Okay, Gold Coast Suns.
Below.
Oh, sorry, Hawthorn we went around to probably there.
Yep.
Gold
Probably
Coast
below.
Suns.
Gold Coast finished 4th last?
Yep.
Gosh, below by a
Below.
lot.
Yeah, agree with you there. Fremantle Footy Club.
Below.
Definitely one
below.
of the big belows.
Richmond.
About.
I'm below. I had them much higher.
I think
Now
below.
they're absolutely depleted. What about Alex Rance returning to the Suns while we quickly talk about it? Dimmer,
Mate,
chatting about last night.
news broken on this podcast.
Sandover Medal.
We said it on Tuesday.
Did we? No, but
Yeah.
we'd already read that article. We'd read it
No,
somewhere.
but that
This
was
is the
that
exact
was,
same conversation as I listened
So-
to. You thought it was breaking news. You
I
thought
thought-
you'd read it.
Yeah.
So no, then I went back and the only news I could find was like some joking around about whether he'd play. Not that he was actually going to do a role there.
Right, okay. Well, there you go.
Breaking news. See it on Streamer first, and then maybe first. We're not sure, but pretty much first.
Geelong,
Below.
Below. For
Below,
the reigning
yeah, see,
premiers,
Big
yep.
below.
below for reigning premiers, but if you asked me 2 years ago where I
Yes.
thought they'd be, I thought that's exactly where they'd be. But unfortunately, they stuffed it last year by being so good.
Yeah,
Essendon,
Man,
Nah,
that's just
about right.
that's
Above.
just
That's
Essendon.
about right.
That's just
Not,
Essendon.
not winning a final is the expectation.
That's
yep.
just Essendon. Adelaide Crows.
No, I think
well,
they're. I think they're
pre-season
above.
expectations or immediately
Yeah. Where do you think?
below. Wait, no, below during the season, but about right pre-season.
I think above.
I think
with you
above.
above.
I think they tracked better than I thought they would.
Kids showed
this year.
enough improvement.
Definitely.
I think you're going to see a lot from there.
Yeah, they did. I was thinking of it just finishing position though, right? They're above expectation of the course of the season and what they were able to do, but where they finished was about
Yeah.
where we thought they would.
The one I think's the biggest, the Bulldogs.
Below.
I think it's as bad as
There's a lot of below.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we're too big on a lot of these teams.
But the
This is
Bulldogs,
what we're-
the
this is
Bulldogs
what
did
we're
not
finding.
make finals.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. They have Marcus Bontempelli, probably going to win a Brownlow.
Tim English,
Tim English, All-Australian ruckman.
Bailey Smith,
Liberatore,
McRae,
unlucky to
Libba,
miss out. Yeah.
Norton, Jamara.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's baffling, that one.
Sydney Swans 8th,
I think that's about
below.
right.
below by miles.
Yeah,
Played in the grand final last year.
Yeah.
With kids.
Yeah, I think
Kids?
that's about right. We're worried
Okay.
about their forward line, though. Lance is 39 years old.
And last but not least, St Kilda Football Club.
No, I think
Above.
above for them, yeah. Yeah, I had them missing finals
Yeah.
pretty comfortably.
Beautiful.
They've done well.
Oh, that's eliminated ones. Gotcha. So a couple of the early trade requests. I have to say, some of the early trade columns not knocking my socks off.
Jordan
Some of the-
Sweet doesn't really do it for
There
you.
was a bloke and he played 16 games, so apologies, but I'd never seen his name before. It was St Kilda. He's like on a wing. I can't even remember.
Jack-
Declan
Oh,
Byrne. Someone Byrne.
Oh, Burn.
okay.
Yeah,
I had no idea who that person
the
was.
burner. They call him the burner down
burner.
at Moorabbin.
Byrne.
You put him on the
Worm
back
burner.
burner in your mind.
Yeah, I had never seen his name before. Apologies, but yeah, he's one of the ones who was listed, and it was just that might be getting a new deal. So not blowing me away this trade period so far. But so Port Adelaide, there's been a lot of action around. The Jordan Sweet ruckman who dominated VFL, but just
They call him
couldn't get a
Sweetie
game.
out at Footscray.
Big Sweetie.
It's a great headline name. I
Just
love a guy
delivering-
with a good headline.
They
Yeah,
call him the
easy.
Candy
Yeah.
Man.
You
'cause
can do
he's
Not
so
the
much
candy
Candy
man.
Man.
I like
I
it.
think we should do that.
He's a ruckman though. No candy ever sold.
No, it just delivers.
If so,
us.
accidental.
Just doling out the candy in the middle.
The candy they sell, he forgot to kick it, and people are like, "How? He sold candy?" He's like, "No, he actually forgot to kick it.
Yeah,
He didn't.
yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
just
it was-
assumed he was
yeah.
going to kick it."
Couldn't make his mind up. So that's one where you think, yeah, maybe, but it doesn't. And Port, the other two, Radigalia and Zerk Thatcher, do any of them move the needle at Port at all?
No, I saw Radigalia might if he plays just with their depleted back line.
Yeah, it's just like these are depth calls, right?
I saw a tweet. How can Geelong be asking for a first rounder for Radigalia, but refuse to with Henry?
Yes.
And I'm like,
Because you can do what you want.
because that's what you do.
it's
It's
your
like
business.
I mean, I want to sell my house for $5 million, and the
Yeah.
person wants to buy it for $1 million. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
You just meet somewhere in the middle.
that's just how it works. I don't know whether that was breaking news I read on
People who
Twitter.
never listen to trade radio.
Oh,
Yeah. But you're right. These are all guys who are
Oh,
19,
just
20,
yeah.
21, 22 kind of
Or like
guys. if
25 been playing VFL for 3 years.
that. Yeah.
I do-
mean, in,
VFL
in
again?
terms of like
Can
where
I
they
just-
sit in their best 22.
Yeah.
Can I just say, sorry, I thought you meant like
Yeah.
9 years old. Can I just say, that just reminded me again, the VFL finals, just want to highlight the fact that there's 50% Queensland teams in the Victorian
Yes.
Football League.
No,
finals
well,
again.
I want to
This might be
highlight.
your biggest bugbear of the
I really
podcast
hate
this
the
whole
name
year.
of VFL.
I want to highlight something else. Well, bugger off and go play in your own division. Go on,
it's
that'll
not
be
that-
good. You'll have 3 teams. Go on.
There before. And no, 5. Southport's in there. Is there another one?
I want
Uni?
to touch on Mick Barlow while we're talking about VFL.
Yeah, super coach.
They must really be favourites to win that flag.
Clubs would be
I think they've
sniffing
won
around
18
Barlow
in
as
a
an
row.
assistant.
Yeah, it's a big streak, isn't it?
Yeah, don't know whether they are or not,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he'd be a
Bring him
fantastic. And him talking about Ross Lyon, who's a mentor for him.
Yeah.
Like some of the Ross Lyon chats and stories, just that come out from team meetings and stuff.
yeah.
It's so funny.
I wonder if Ross has actually changed because there was no assistant of Ross's had become a head coach.
Nah.
Was a thing. So you'd be reluctant, I think, if you're aiming for the main job to go
Yeah.
there just because you got to be a trailblazer. Anyway.
I'm going to go full nuffy with my second point. It's been a
Love
very
it.
heavy week
You
about
like it?
tribunal hearings and everything.
Oh, is you sick of? I could not care about.
Yes,
what Braden
this
Mano
is a
gets.
tribunal-free
I hate
zone.
the fact that Angus Brayshaw got destroyed, but everything after that, just
Yes.
leave it alone.
No, we're all
interested.
past it now. But this is a question that someone asked me. I thought, righto, I'll put it to Zave in particular. Real enough areas. Jumper numbers at clubs.
Love it.
What is the process for, and is there a process for getting a jumper number, changing a jumper number when you consider, so there's 3 different types
Yeah.
here, right? So there's draftees coming into the club, there's new recruits getting traded into the club, and then there's also guys who have higher jumper numbers,
Yeah.
existing guys who want to upgrade or downgrade, as the case
I
may
love
be.
this topic.
Yeah, so
Is there an actual sort of formal, does it vary from club to club?
Varies from club to
Is
club.
there a priority list, or is it just ad hoc? You go to the CEO
I think
and say,
priority,
hey, I want to move up.
That wouldn't be the CEO.
Damien Hardwick had a thing.
The priority is, from what I'd imagine, if Robbie Gray was leaving, for him to get the jumper to Zach
He gets to
Butters.
He bestows it to somebody.
That would be a big deal.
So we might be seeing that with Luke Shuey and Noah
Noah
Long,
Long.
because there was a picture of the two of them
In front of the locker.
in front of the number 13 locker, which
Noah-
sort of set
yeah.
some tongues
Noah
wagging.
Long's
So
name
that-
was on the locker.
its name was on the
His
locker.
name was on the
Jeez, I
locker.
didn't look close enough.
They're
Well, there you go.
different case, so like in terms of Butters the two, no long, but yeah, it's like that. You're part of the senior bloke.
yeah,
But
slightly.
I think what happens is, say you play 30 games in number 35 or whatever you want at 40 or whatever it is, you are asked if you want to go down the order.
So are you asked?
Yeah, you asked if you want to go down the order.
Did you start in?
Started in 32, and I wanted to keep 32, so I played my first year in 32.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Andrew Embley was 32, Peter Bell was 32,
That's a
Mark
good
Rashudo was
32.
32,
Yeah.
Sean Hart was
Stephen
32,
Hill was after
Cam
Belly.
Bruce was 32, I think. Like 32 was a good number, and I was pumped with 32. And then Danny Jacobs retired, and it was like, you're in number 8.
So who makes this? Who told you this?
Clarko, club.
He just said you're in.
Well,
eight
they
now.
can't really have an empty number 8, I don't think, before pre-season.
Okay.
So I haven't
Yeah,
moved.
no, I thought people normally put their hand up, but obviously no. Yeah,
Well, but I'm not in number
future
47.
star, future Norm Smith medalist.
32 was a good number.
Yeah.
I had Cyril one side of me
Yeah,
and
no, that's
Stewie
what-
Jew the other side.
That's
It was
what I
bloody
mean.
good.
Like, it's off hottest strangers. They're like, you're in 8.
Yeah,
Well, do you want to do 8?
I wouldn't
No.
have gone. I wouldn't have changed if I had a choice.
And then what was your process when you moved to West Coast? Did you just have a selection of like, here are the 7 numbers and you can pick
Nah,
one?
I think I just got given one.
You just got given
I
18?
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder that
I think
sometimes
18
when they recruit, whether they like siphon off the single
No, if
digits.
you-
Like, no, that's for the
If you're
good
in...
kids.
No. If you're coming into the club from another club, you're not expected to go on like 40.
Yeah, I
Like,
get that.
so I think maybe 18 might have been the lowest available.
Yeah, it was Brad Dalziel's old number.
That's how St.
When you were
Peter's.
jumping
Yeah.
in. But this is, so I'm intrigued with West Coast. So obviously we talked about Shuey's number, but in terms of Nick's number 9,
Yeah.
Hearn's number 25.
And Natanui went straight into
Kennedy
9.
was empty.
He did,
17
yeah.
was empty this year.
Yep.
But in terms of like the kids who have higher numbers now,
It's no
and
29 still at Fremantle.
I'm going to go out.
That's true.
I'm going to go out on a guess here and say that maybe Harley Reid might be 9. Next
well, that's
year.
what I'm thinking. So if some of the kids
Cousins.
come to West Coast in the next few weeks, and even some of the guys that they trade in October, and they say, "Hey, what numbers are available?"
Yeah.
Are West Coast just going, "Oh, we're just going to wait
Yeah,
until
no, I
Harley
think
gets
so.
here and
West Coast
picks
gave
his
away,
number,
yeah.
and then or we'll save one for Harley."
There
like,
might be.
it's
So,
quite
it also
interesting.
depends on how many lockers you got in the change rooms. Too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, those two boys are single. Jinby and Hewitt both single digits, right?
Jimby 7, Hewitt 8.
Very
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
clubs. Like
Yeah.
West
Well,
Coast
Dustin-
kids will take the low numbers.
Damien
If it was-
Hardwick had a thing. You had to start in a high number.
Yeah.
So Dusty's first year, he was 36.
Yeah, I
And then
think
he
we
went
we all started high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But different clubs, yeah, different horses for courses. But yeah,
Interesting.
that's I don't think anyone's actually wore the number 29 on the field for Fremantle since Pav retired.
Because
Because there was that South Australian kid
yeah,
who couldn't get, he was injured and then he ended up
Valente,
Luke
Luke
Valente,
Valente, yeah.
finally. Anyway, is
There
that
you
me?
go.
I'll just really quickly off the back of we spoke about Melbourne and their inability to score goals. I just had a look through the top goal kickers in the competition. So number 1, Charlie Curnow won the Coleman. Number 2, Taylor Walker, not in finals. Nick Larkey, not in finals.
Just fell short.
And then it goes Toby, Joe, and Charlie. But then it goes Jeremy not in finals, Oscar not in finals, Langford not in finals, Hawkins not in finals, Bruce not in finals, and then Norton and Henry are in the top 15, and they miss. So maybe
the spread, don't you?
we've gone away
Yeah, you don't want a
from gone
single
away
goal
from the
kicker.
big single goal kicker. Back in I think it was 2012. I think we had 4 kick over 50.
Who, Buddy, Ruffy,
Gunston
Cyril?
and Cyril, I reckon. Bruce.
Oh, Bruce. Yeah, Cyril 50 seems like a high.
Yeah. So, maybe, and now they've 50, got 150. Like
Yeah.
my check's sitting on 45.
Well,
And
who's
that's-
actually got a functioning forward line in that?
Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane.
So
But
Bris-
again, they
Brisbane
got
have-
the spread. They
Brisbane
got
have
4 blokes.
7 guys who have kicked 22 plus this year.
Really?
Danaher 56, Charlie 55, Hipwood 40, and then Bailey 27, McCarthy 24, Cam Rayner 23, Gunston 22, who's missed a bit.
Is that including the final?
Yeah.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
good.
It's a nice spread.
Brisbane win the flag.
It's a really nice spread.
Brisbane win the flag. I want to raise the idea of concessions. I couldn't find it, so I don't know if it's true or not, but I thought I read during the week.
There we go.
It's the greatest.
This is Nick out the back just having a little...
Survive about the thing. But I saw something suggesting that North Melbourne were going to be talking to the AFL House about concessions again.
Yeah.
And I want to just table the idea of concessions at all. I don't believe that any club should get draft or list concessions for being shit.
Correct. 100%. Couldn't agree with you more.
I couldn't agree any more
with you
than
more.
if you added academies in it.
Yeah, right.
Academies have got to go. They are the worst
Scrap
thing.
them too.
They are the worst.
Make it, but that's I don't know. I talk about this on this podcast or somewhere else. There has to the AFL have to fund that and make it.
Yeah, we're talking about it on the other. Yeah.
Yeah, like that can't be a club thing. But yeah, the idea that North Melbourne go, we need more picks because we're shit.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, like we give you all this money every year. Everyone gets the same.
The idea that you pumped up a couple of Sherrans for under 14s means you get the pick 2 in the draft or Jamara pick 1.
I know.
That's bigger horse shit. Don't wind me up about that one.
Well, the NGAs.
Oh, jeez.
You don't like the NGA stuff.
Love it. Love the programs.
Don't like
It's just the access.
So are you happy with the 40 plus?
No, not with any of it.
Just none at all. Just wipe it off completely.
Just have 1 to 18 first round draft picks. Who's your best?
It also makes it so hard for the
What about
average...
father-son?
I don't mind father-son for history, but yeah.
It also
you
makes
need
it
them-
so
I think you
hard
need
for
to
the
cut off.
average footy fan to follow as well when you throw in academy stuff and pick 40 onwards and stuff. Like just your average, regular, I'm not a full-blown nuffy.
Yeah. Well,
it's so hard to understand the draft.
We've spoken about it a few times. List managers don't watch footy, so they must be bamboozled by it. Absolutely bamboozled. They might be out holding the ruck bag. That's what they're doing, list managers.
I had some issues with father-son earlier, but I think it's now correcting. Like all the clubs who are in, apart from there's probably GWS and Gold Coast needs some concession there to get parity with the other clubs, but most of them should now have father-sons of players who played for your club. Like there was Fremantle on the West Coast put Adelaide, where they just didn't have the same number of games played.
There's no reason why they shouldn't be now.
Yeah, but now it's coming right. You just got the GWS GWS Gold Coast thing. They need something to get them along the way.
Yeah.
And then Tassie. I wonder what Tassie gets. Tassie will get anyone who stepped
No,
foot in
Tassie have already got access to it if you were born there or something.
If you're born there?
Yeah, there's already been something because I think Rewalt was talking about
his kids playing for Tassie.
I'm sure.
There was another one. Oh, Jeff White's son. Jeff White, Melbourne Ruckman, #1 draft pick at Fremantle. His son is chopping the under 16s. So he'd be father son in Melbourne, but he's also Gold Coast Academy. He's one of those ones where he's all over the shop.
Right. It's
players whose sons could play for Tasmania under floated father-son rule, sorry. So like Richo and those guys. Richo, Jeremy Howe.
So if they're from there.
From Tassie, the child will have the choice.
Okay.
So a little bit like a Hodge at the moment. Cooper's in Brisbane, but he has the choice of Hawthorn. So if you're born in Tassie, that would be your alternate choice.
So that's funny with Nick Rewald because he didn't get drafted out of Tassie. They'd moved to Queensland.
Well, I used Nick, and then I got the article up, and I didn't use Nick in the second
No, but
part.
I think there was a part about Nick, wasn't there? That he was because he was born
Nick's
there.
head's in that photo.
Yeah,
Nick's
he's in
it.
there.
Yeah.
So he wasn't drafted. He was drafted out of Queensland, but he was originally
Any
from
father
Tasmania.
out of Tasmania who's played 100 games and qualified their son would be eligible to choose the Tassie team.
How do you clarify out of Tasmania? I wonder. That's the next thing to address.
Oh God.
Born. This is
Born.
like state of what's the state of
Born.
origin? Where they're talking about like
Well, Ponga-
Fiji. That's in Queensland.
Callum Ponga's born in WA
It's true. Should be playing state of origin for Western Australia
for the Reds.
in the Jersey flag or something down the line. All right, time for.
Hardball bets. Thanks to the Tab Touch app.
All right, there was one which caught my interest. One of these sort of like special ones they offer. So it's Butters, Whitfield, Rosie, and Kelly all to have 25 plus.
Okay.
$4.
Okay.
Taking that as just a cash in. See you later.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. I'll
How are you going, by the way, Robert?
I'm going. I'm going not that well. Please don't follow my advice. I'm multing up Carlton 1 to 39 and Port by 4 goals plus, which pays $7.50. Gamble responsibly. And call Gamblers Help on 1-800-858-858 if you're following my advice.
All right, that was Hardball Bets. Thanks to Tab Touch and the Tab Touch app. Got the touch this AFL season. Choose Tab Touch. Better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly. Call Gamblers Help on 1-800-858-858. And this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show, proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do you. See you next time.